Morning, and sorry to interrupt your wonderful conversations you're all having. This may not be as good as that, but I'll do my best. Welcome to Green Mondays on the Age of Trust. I'd like to start by asking you guys to raise a hand to tell me if you were aware of the Twitter announcements coming out of HMV last week to do with redundancy. So can you just raise your hand if you were aware of that? Okay, so I'd say that's probably about half of you. So half of you had a very interesting insight into what was going on in the deep mechanics of an organization, and it was very time efficient. Now, for those of you who weren't aware of that, I can hopefully get a slide which shows some of what was going on there. So basically, you had a young marketing intern who'd been made redundant alongside quite a few others, and she decided to take to the official Twitter feed at HMV and update people in real time what was going on. So you can see at the bottom there it says, "There are over 60 of us being fired at once. Mass execution of loyal employees who love the brand." And at the top there, "Just overheard our marketing director, he's staying, folks, ask, how do I shut down Twitter?" Now, I think we're all realizing that shutting down social media is quite difficult. But I think what's also interesting here is that HMV had around about 60,000 followers before this happened. And in the space of 12 hours, it went up to 72,000 followers. So in the space of 12 hours, they gained about 20% of their followers. And I think that what that tells us that social media loves transparency. And in there is probably a hint of opportunity in all of this as well. So we're here to talk about trust, declining levels of trust, which we're all aware of for businesses, particularly in some sectors. So banking, energy, media sectors have all been in the limelight recently. We saw from the Edelman Trust Barometer that trust levels in the banking sector has fallen from 47% in 2008 to 22% in 2013. So it's a very pertinent and live topic, particularly in those sectors. CEOs are losing their jobs, and you're also seeing big fines coming in. Government's feeling very empowered to fine those companies. So there are some questions to ask. Firstly, how or even can a large incumbent company increase their levels of trust? Secondly, are we seeing a new generation of trust-centric business models coming through and threatening to take market share from the bigger companies? And thirdly, does Generation Y give us a hint of further opportunity, but also damage to come? So we're very lucky to have a great lineup of speakers with us tonight. We're going to start with a keynote from Vincent de Rivas, the CEO of EDF. We're very lucky to have one of the big six utilities with us tonight. We then move to shorter speeches from Hugh Davis at Triodos Bank. Triodos are a very ethical and very transparent bank who, I guess, in this context, are a challenger. We then hear from Angelina Janji, who is the youngest person to have been on a Green Mondays panel at the age of 23. She's fast emerging as a spokesperson for Generation Y, and I guess she gives us a glimpse into further change that can happen in the future. So I think we're all good on Twitter. We nearly had a problem earlier, which would have been very embarrassing for Angela or for us if we hadn't got Twitter working, but it is working, and I think we're hoping you guys will be very transparent with your thoughts, both within this room here, but also those watching online as well. So I'm now going to, without further ado, introduce our keynote speaker tonight, Vincent de Rivas. We wanted a keynote from a sector that was experiencing a sharp decline in trust, and I think it says a lot about Vincent that he took up this challenge. EDF, as you know, are one of the big 6 energy utilities in the UK. They are the largest supplier of energy to the UK corporate market. Vincent has been CEO of EDF for 11 years, and in researching this event, we've read many enlightened references from him for his desire to turn EDF into a social utility. Vincent, how do you achieve that? We now hand over to Vincent.